So this was a momentous occasion, at least for some people. We'll talk about why I think it's not a huge deal. So ESPN2 aired an eSports event. They aired it on Sunday night, August the 26th. Kind of surprised a lot of people. I had no idea it was happening.
Wait, August 26th?
Oh, excuse me. It was April 26th. April 26th. No, in the future! April 26th. And my notes are totally wrong.
Surprised a lot of people.
Surprised a lot of people in the future. Doc Brown came back and told us. So it was Blizzard's Heroes of the Dorm tournament. So there's a closed in beta, still in closed beta, Heroes of the Storm. It's their version of League of Legends or Dota. You know, how do you describe these games? They are overhead perspective, and you do melee attacks. You do they're team based. You do magic attacks.
I'm just gonna shut my mouth and not even try because someone's gonna fucking kill me over it. But I just don't know.
That's the genre, though, for the most part. I mean, they're streamed a lot. They're very. It's one of the quote unquote more played esports games is that genre.
Yeah, from what I understand, they're team based tactical, and I think they involve capturing territories.
Whenever I look at them, I look like, wow, it almost looks like StarCraft from above or some sort of Warcraft sort of thing. But you have a character, you have to watch the health, you can recover health. It's not, you know what I mean. It's not like you're just going to die instantly. It's
probably fun, but.
Sure, all these games are fun. So it aired. I'm guessing that Blizzard sponsored this in some capacity. Makes sense to me. They were giving away money. It was colleges against other colleges. So people were excited about it. People that are fans of video games, and especially this genre, whatever you call it, MOBA genre, MOBA. They were excited about this event because it was on television. There were people that were sports fans that would flipping through channels, ESPN2, they're like, what the hell is this? Why is there video games on ESPN2? So I'm more interested in talking about the reaction about those two sides. And I'm just going to say that, obviously, I think both are overreacting.
No, I mean, okay. I mean, you go ahead.
First off, if you're a fan of video games or esports, which I'm just calling professional gaming, or more commonly calling that professional gaming, the fact that it's on ESPN2, you shouldn't care for a few reasons. It's not going to expose people that are watching ESPN2 to a game, and you're not going to draw in that many new fans to your game.
You're either watching the game because you want to watch the game, or you're a confused ESPN viewer who doesn't know what the shit is going on and doesn't want to watch it. And my issue with this is, you can say, yay, this is a victory because we have it on TV, but everyone who's into this stuff, whether it's fighting game tournaments, watching professional MOBA, whatever, it's all streamed. They watch streams. I don't know anyone who doesn't watch these things on streams.
This generation of gamers, we were talking mid-20s or even early 20s and before, they don't watch TV anymore.
No.
They probably couldn't find ESPN2 on the fucking dial.
I can't.
Remember the oldie days of the dial?
I'm 32 and I don't even know how to operate a cable box
They haven't heard of the dial.
Yeah.
They're too young. So, I mean, it's not a victory. It's not. Especially if there was probably money paid to ESPN2 to air this. You know why I think there was money paid? It drew a 0.1 rating, which is roughly 100,000 people. That is fucking terrible for a station like ESPN2.
Didn't one of the head guys at ESPN say he wouldn't ever air that shit anyways?
He said it back in the fall that I would never air this. Well, Blizzard might have came to him with a bag of money and said air this.
Money makes things happen, but that makes it even worse. So, it's not a victory. It's not like someone looked at it and said, you know what, this deserves a spot on television. It was bought and paid. Yeah,
so this is bad because I hope the money made up for the fact that advertisers are what run networks, advertising dollars. If they see something with a 0.1, they are not going to put advertising dollars on that show.
No.
So then ESPN2, if they're not being paid off, will be less likely to run that in the future. So it's not a victory. So I'll just say that. So for those sports fans that were upset about seeing video games on your channel, you have somewhat of a right to freak out being you're not used to seeing this, but don't think that it's going to take over your channel because I don't see that happening either. It's not like you're going to start seeing this every week. It's the same way as like seeing, like they air like poker on ESPN2, but it's like twice a year only for like the major.
It's a couple of tournaments, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not taking over the channel. Otherwise, it's at like on 2 in the morning, or ESPN 360. We'll run it like the third or fourth ESPN channel will run it. So I just think it's interesting. The ESPN-affiliated radio host Colin Cowherd went over the top by saying he'd rather stick a gun in his mouth than be forced to cover esports. I don't think you're going to be forced to cover esports. I just don't think.
I also think Cowherd's fucking nonsense human, but whatever.
He brought up Donkey Kong and Harry Potter in the same sentence during his rant. This is reported from Forbes, that time travel from 93 and was aimed at nerds. So he's just out of touch.
Yes.
What we're going to get into this topic later is that there is crossover between sports fans and gamers. Maybe not for this genre in particular, more so than others. But it's not like if you like sports, you automatically hate video games or vice versa. That's not the world we are in.
No, and that's not the issue at hand.
No, the issue is the audience, your TV audience, not expecting or not wanting the content and ending up with a 0.1 rating. You know, it's like worse than like a Seinfeld rerun.
Sure.
That's going to be on randomly.
It's like going to Cartoon Network and finding a documentary.
Yeah. So people on Twitter back and forth. So there's an argument made though that, you know, eSports professional gaming is growing, and it is. So ESPN could capitalize this and work it in the rotation. However, there is the alienation of your current fans. So you would alienate fans that want to just see, you know, Sports Center or whatever else, or hell, a guy like Frank who wants to watch, I don't know, a random, say they air like a random amateur wrestling event, and he wants to watch that or just see highlights. So you're going to alienate those sports fans, and again, you're not going to grow the audience from these gamers, because they're, again, like you said, they're watching it on Twitch, they're watching it streamed live on YouTube or wherever else. They're not going to go and find their TV. A lot of young people don't even have cable anymore. They don't.
I'm sure a lot of the people who thought it was a victory simply thought it was a victory because they thought it was cool it got on TV, and good for you, but I bet you a lot of those people still watched it on the streams that they always watch it on.
I would parallel the reaction to this as if ESPN2 all of a sudden ran wrestling, like pro wrestling, you'd get the same reaction, like, what the hell is this? This isn't a sport.
Sure.
So that's why I wouldn't be upset, gamer people, about it. It'd be the same exact reaction. It's not a mainstream athletic sport, so they're going to be upset about it. So I don't see this taking off, like I said, unless there's a ton of money thrown ESPN's way to keep this going until there's a decent rating. But a 0.1 rating is not boding well.
Yeah.
Is that your phone?
Sure.
That's not boding well either. I thought that was your stomach at first.
That too.